Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. Thank you so much for attending. I think we've got a great lineup here with some great information. And I want to wish everyone a happy St. Patrick's Day as well. Today, we're going to be going over what's new in ArcGIS field maps and talk about the new Trimble Catalyst system. Our presenters today from Esri, we have Jeff Shaner. He is the product engineer lead for the field apps development team at Esri. Having been a member of Esri's software products team for over 20 years, he's led several mobile app initiatives at Esri, including ArcGIS field maps, which you'll be talking about today. And then from Trimble, we have Dan Colbert. Dan is a technical sales engineer for Trimble's geospatial division and specializes in integrating Trimble technology into third-party applications. He also works with our distributor network to help evangelize Trimble technology to the market. And then that's me over there on the right. I'm Erin McCormick. Been here at NEI for a long time. I represent Florida for the MGIS division, as well as UAS and mobile mapping sales. So here's what we're going to go over today. Jeff is going to talk to us about some new insights and what's new and what to look for in Esri field maps. And then Dan is going to talk to us about the Trimble Catalyst system, all the components and some of the advantages, as well as the new technology. I'm going to go into the different types of subscriptions. We're going to go into pricing and everything to try to cover all the questions. And then at the end, we're going to have our Q&A and a DA2 receiver giveaway. So stick around to the end, and we'll be giving away the new Trimble DA2 receiver and 10 hours of 1 centimeter level accuracy mapping. Just a couple of quick housekeeping items. The session is being recorded today. Please use the Q&A bar to enter in questions, and we will answer them as we go. And at the end as well, we'll have a quick Q&A session, time permitting. Any questions we can address, we will follow up in an email to everyone, as well as we'll follow up with the winner of the DA2 receiver giveaway also. So this is an NEI presentation and just a little bit about us. Our corporate headquarters is located in Lafayette, Louisiana, with satellite offices in Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, and me down here in Florida. For over 30 years, NEI is a complete solution provider that sells, rents, leases, and services mapping, GIS, and survey construction equipment and technology from Trimble and other leading manufacturers, with every employee focused on delivering total customer satisfaction. We've also been for the Trimble Worldwide MGIS Dealer of the Year the last 4 out of 5 years, and we're hoping to make it a 5th year this year as well. As technology has grown over the years, NEI has transformed to keep up with those innovations. We're working with several customers in our territory with implementing mobile mapping solutions with a full suite of Trimble mobile mapping equipment. And we also have grown our UAS department. We've done implementations with several of our customers, working with the micro drones, primarily with the LiDAR systems. We've also had success working with folks with the EB SenseFly systems as well, and we've got a full suite of capabilities to support those implementations as well. And Eric Bock is helping us with the technical support, as usual, our technical support manager. And he is going to pose our first poll question of the day. We have a couple today just to learn a little bit more about what everyone is using and what they're working with.
All right, Aaron, our first poll question is what field applications are you currently using? You can select more that if you need more than one there. We know some users are collect on more than one application. So we'll give everybody about 30 seconds to finish this up. And when we're done, we'll just show some results and pass it over to Jeff. So we're getting close there. All right, we'll give everybody a few more seconds and we'll close the poll. All right, and then I will share some results here. So it looks like a majority of the users right now are currently using field maps, followed up by collector, and then some survey 1, 2, 3. Quick capture about 15%, and then we have others. You know, there's probably still some ArcPad, some TerraSync users, and some other third-party applications. So we appreciate that. We'll now push this over to Jeff. All right, Jeff just made you presenter.
Thank you very much. And thanks for the opportunity to present today. What I thought I'd start with is providing just kind of a brief overview of field maps and Esri's field operations strategy, and then we can dive a little bit into capabilities and road ahead too. I wanted to start by talking about field operations and how ArcGIS Field Maps, our latest mobile application, is bringing together a set of activities for taking ArcGIS content out to the field. We've been in this process of releasing a number of updates to ArcGIS Field Maps since its initial launch in November of 2020, and adding the ability for you to just use maps for viewing and markup, being able to use maps for data collection, being able to use maps for location sharing, location tracking, and we have an intent to kind of add more and more capabilities into what will become this comprehensive mobile application that you can use on iOS and Android platforms. It's complemented by specialized data collection applications that a number of you are using today, a form-centric data collection app called Survey 123, and this on-the-fly data capture application called Quick Capture as well. So with ArcGIS Field Maps, we're continuing to add more and more capabilities, and as a part of that effort, what we've started with is we looked at how do we bring together the best in breed of field data collection, map viewing, and location tracking into one app, and that's where we are today. And then as we're moving forward, how do we bring in the capabilities of planning and coordinating work and navigating to the job site and integrating them into this comprehensive app today. But from its foundational perspective, these activities of planning, navigation, spatial awareness, data capture, those are all aspects of field maps as a product, our field operations strategy, and we're continuing to grow and evolve the functionality of the product based upon those activities or initiatives. I just want to spend a bit of time talking about the key components. If you're coming from using ArcGIS Collector, which a number of you are, and Field Maps is new to you, I'll say from a starting perspective with the mobile application, the foundation was ArcGIS Collector's code base. So we started there and we started to integrate in the map markup capabilities of ArcGIS Explorer, the location tracking capabilities of ArcGIS Tracker, and we've just been building upon the capabilities ever since. But at the same time, we introduced this companion application inside of ArcGIS Online and ArcGIS Enterprise called Field Maps. It's a web app that you can use to configure the experience of the map. And I'll talk about that in a couple of slides here. The mobile application, like I mentioned, it's really for the mobile worker that needs to go out into the field and gain spatial awareness, be able to use the map with a GNSS receiver to do data capture, be able to query that map, get the latest information, work disconnected if they need to work in remote locations, use intelligent forms to be able to capture non-spatial information, and even work indoors. So we've been adding the ability for you to kind of seamlessly transition between outdoor map use and indoor map use as a part of the product. We've been building it for iOS and Android devices. We don't have an intention to build it for Windows tablets. However, we are investigating how we can leverage Microsoft's strategy to support Android applications on the Windows platform moving forward. And they're intending to release that later this year, and we'll be announcing plans to support that then. The web application is really for the GIS analyst or the map author that needs to configure and deploy maps. And that's really important for us as we progress in adding more capabilities into the mobile application and want to provide an experience that keeps that mobile application simple through these capabilities of configuring properties of the map. So the web application lets you essentially create forms inside of your map, configure the layers that you're going to edit, and I guess feature templates that are used to construct new features. Be able to manage the offline experience, even remotely start the ability to construct offline map areas and build them to kind of simplify the mobile user's workflow. And also it provides a means for sharing and deploying maps. So it can auto-generate QR codes. It can be used to streamline the setup process on the mobile device as well. So there's a lot that's being invested inside of the web application, and you can use it to control the behavior of the map, and you can also use it to control the functionality and behavior of the mobile app as well. But at its kind of at its heart, Field Maps is kind of Esri's premier app for field data capture. We provide a set of advanced data collection tools. We leverage the inherent capabilities of collecting data into ArcGIS through feature layers as a part of what brings the application to life. Of course, it works completely offline. And we've been working really closely with Trimble in making sure that ArcGIS Field Maps works very well when paired with an external Trimble-based GNSS receiver. And that could be anything from an R1 or an R2, the R series receivers, to I think what we're going to focus on today, which is Trimble Catalyst. But what you're going to see running in this embedded video is actually an R2 being used in Colombia for fit-for-purpose land cadastre workflows. So a lot of organizations are reaping the benefit of being able to take, essentially non-GIS trained individuals like this farmer in Colombia and go out to the field and capture data with high accuracy. With our integration with Trimble that we've been doing, not only is it in the direct support of receivers, but we've embedded the Trimble Precision SDK into Field Maps as part of the product. And we've integrated support with Trimble Mobile Manager so that you can take advantage of the capabilities within it. Things like being able to work with orthometric heights, being able to support time-dependent transformation so that you can go beyond the accuracy of your smartphone to centimeter level precision for your data capture needs. As far as capabilities go in the application, we've been focused on, essentially a single point, single vertex space capture that can support direct orthometric heights into the Z value of a coordinate. That's new if you're coming from the collector world. Being able to stream data capture for lines and areas, being able to support GPS averaging methods. In the mobile application, you can get at the GPS status, will capture GPS metadata. You can set a required accuracy threshold for data capture. You can determine the confidence interval for presenting horizontal and vertical accuracy. And really key to that integration with the Trimble receiver is defining what we call a location provider. And if you're working with a real-time correction source, a location profile, so that you can get the most out of the receiver that you're using and the correction sources that you're working with. On the non-spatial aspect of data capture, this is where we've made a bunch of big strides inside of field maps over where you've probably experienced using ArcGIS collector today. And you'll see a lot of growth in this area from us as we move forward. So now within ArcGIS field maps, you're not just starting with the pop-up definition that's on a layer. You're designing a form, and that form has intelligence to it. That form has certain capabilities like being able to organize data entry into a grouping of fields, being able to control just from the editing behavior whether a field is read-only or read-write, or when it should be visible, when it shouldn't be. And we've got much more coming as we move forward. Some of those key capabilities that I just mentioned them are expanding upon fundamentals of our system architecture. So being able to leverage your investment in the arcade expression language to provide this advanced logic for conditional visibility being key to that. Being able to leverage domains you add to fields to bring forward input types like a switch or radio buttons in the user experience as well. So there's a lot of advanced functionality when it comes to the forms data capture that's probably new to a lot of you. The other thing I want to mention for you to watch with this is that this is an initiative for Esri that's beyond field maps. What we're doing with smart forms in field maps also works in the web. So we're storing this information about this intelligent form into the web map itself, and the new map viewer, the experience builder, the JavaScript API that's a part of our developer offering also takes advantage of that form logic too. So now you can have not just mobile applications that work with forms, but also web applications that take advantage of that same form logic as well. Another key aspect that we introduced as a part of ArcGIS field maps is the ability to use location to kind of record and share, where you are and where you've been. And that's meaningful for a lot of different types of workflows. It could be used for proof of work type scenarios. So was that mobile worker at the location of the work when they completed it? Give us a date timestamp of the work that was completed and the date timestamp of the location of the mobile worker, and leverage that as a metric, being able to use it from the context of a worker's safety and the lone worker type scenario where we need to know the last known location of every mobile user as they're working in the field. So the location tracking capability that we've added inside of field maps is pretty unique. It's unique in the fact that not only are we leveraging the core location APIs that come from iOS and Android, but we're also using the core motion API. So we can be easy on the battery life of your device. You might be out capturing data, you might be out just sharing location. What we'll do is we'll only fire up and use the internal GPS chipset if you're engaged in some kind of motion, some kind of activity, like I'm walking, I'm driving, that sort of thing. And that additional metadata information we can store with the location, and you can use it for all kinds of analytics. If you use the field worker user type with ArcGIS Online, the location tracking capability is just included as a part of the product. So if you weren't aware of it, you probably have it inside of your organization already today. Okay, two more concepts to mention. One is something called universal app links. So one of the ways that you can take advantage of ArcGIS field maps is through the context of a link. It's essentially just a URL, and that URL can be used to kind of remotely control the application. I'm just going to run this embedded video. So this is an iPad with field maps and my email side by side, and if I tap on a specific link, it remotely controls field maps. It could center the app on a map. It could open up the app and map and search based on an ID of a field feature, or I could even start a data collection activity if I'd like as a part of that workflow as well. So think about potentially how you can leverage the app linking capabilities to control our application in your workflows. The next thing I wanted to mention was webhooks. Webhooks is a new concept for field maps. It's been around with Survey 123 for a little bit of time, but we introduced a new module, an ArcGIS Field Maps module for Integromat, and we've provided a bunch of detailed information about how you can leverage field maps through Power Automate as well. And this is an opportunity for you to kind of introduce business logic, for you to automate a variety of different workflows by leveraging webhooks that get fired when someone perhaps does an inspection or does or completes a new data collection inside of the field. So take a look at the webhooks capability. It might be something that you can take advantage of inside of your organization. The other thing I wanted to mention is mobile device management. This is really a best practice. And one of the things we're doing with Esri is we're following the standards set by a config community. It's an opportunity, once again, kind of similar to app linking, if you want to think about it, to remotely control the field maps application. But if you're implementing a mobile device management system today, you can expose a set of configuration keywords, and you can see the keys and descriptions that we have available today to kind of streamline the setup process and start to control aspects of the application as well. We're looking to expand this. If there's needs you have around it, we'd be excited to kind of follow up with you on where we could go with it next. So just to sum, ArcGIS Field Maps is still a little only more than a year old. It was first released in November of 2020. We've had 6 updates to it since, and actually we've got an update that's coming next week, and it's a pretty big update for us. And I wanted to talk just very briefly about what we've got coming in this release here in a week. Fundamentally, we've been spending a lot of time on the forms capability, and I think this is going to take data entry through the form to another level. What you see kind of executing through that first video on the left was being able to kind of model a mobile as-builting workflow where you could scan a barcode, decode the barcode, and auto-populate values onto your form based upon what's been encoded into that barcode. That's just one example, but there's so many more things you can do because the form calculations leverage your, the CADE capabilities as part of ArcGIS. So if you haven't spent some time looking at Arcade, I encourage you to take a look at that now. We're picking up an update to the Trimble Mobile Manager that was recently released in this build, so you're going to get some updates there. We've introduced some foundational support for linear referencing. So if you're taking perhaps like an alignment to the field and you need to be able to discover stationing, you need to be able to calculate offsets, store measurement values inside of the features that you're capturing, whether it be, supporting infrastructure improvements for, a DOT or pipeline inspections, perhaps. This is a new feature we've been bringing forward. We're doing integrations with Bernstein's InfraMarker solution, so that when you tap to search for an asset, it can remotely launch the InfraMarker app, search for an asset by its RFID, and bring that selection back into field maps so you can perform your inspection or do whatever you need to do with that feature that you've identified, maybe navigate to it, whatever it might be. We've got a couple of additional new features that are coming in that I think are going to slip out of our week next week, but we've been looking to introduce in April. GPS metadata for lines and polygons, being able to store that along with the features that you capture, and support for something called contingent attributes, which provides a classification hierarchy as a part of the form that you work with. So lots coming. The release in March is set currently for Tuesday night next week, but we'll see how that goes. Now that I've set it as Tuesday night, it'll probably release later than that. With that, that's our Q1 roadmap, our immediate roadmap. In the near term, which means later this year, we'll be introducing support for the utility network with connected viewing and tracing. We're introducing a new concept of geotriggers that can provide local client-side alerts or notifications when you approach or enter or exit a location, as well as control the location tracking behavior. And as you can see, we've got a lot more coming in future updates through the year. Of course, the timing and details of this can change as we progress through the year, but this is the foundation of where we're headed for the rest of this year. And with that, I think we've got another poll question. So I'm going to pass it back over to Erin, I believe, to take over and ask that next poll question. Erin?
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. So this next question is, what GPS accuracy do you need for your field collection projects? So we'll give you all a few seconds here to go ahead and answer this. So we got in here around 2 foot accuracy, 1 foot accuracy, 4 inch for that 10 centimeter, 1 centimeter or other. So go ahead and fill out that poll for us and we'll share the results here shortly.
And thank you, Jeff. We're really looking forward to some of those new updates that are coming out. I'll keep an eye out for that as well.
Thanks. Yeah, lots of exciting work underway for us.
All right, we'll go ahead and close the poll here and we'll share the results we got. So it looks like, let's see, let me get my screen out the way. 30% roughly in the 4 inch range, 15% in the 2 foot range, 25% in the sub foot range, and then 25% in centimeter. Good stuff. We appreciate you all sharing this. We're going to pass this over to Dan now. Let me make Dan presenter. So Dan, I've just made you presenter.
I believe I'm going to be doing I'm going to be doing the slides for Dan here.
I got you here, Erin.
Okay.
Well, we should be all good now.
Yep, we're good to go.
Yep.
Right on. So yeah, thanks for that, and thanks for the intro too, Jeff. And I guess it kind of leads into why we're having this conversation at all, and it really, from the Trimble perspective, centers around the idea of this new product. Well, it's not. There's some exciting new updates to this product. Trimble Catalyst has been around for a little bit, but at the end of the day, just why are we talking about this at all? And really, Trimble Catalyst represents truly a new revolutionary offering, Trimble, a technology offering from Trimble that uses an entirely new type of GNSS receiver technology. It's actually a GNSS receiver that's defined by software. So what that means is that we can bring you exciting new technology, updates to technology, and deployed technology in a much more cost-effective way than we've ever been able to do that before. And we also have exposed some new business models that surround this, and that's what we're going to get into here next. So what is Catalyst exactly? Well, Catalyst is really a combination of three major components. The first one is the receiver, and we call it the DA2, the Digital Antenna 2, the DA2 receiver. Then there's the second component is a device to do your data collection on. So an Android device, an iOS device, could be a tablet, could be anything. We've got some of our own devices like the TDC 600. But then the whole entire combination of things is enabled by a subscription. So a subscription service to use all of this stuff. And if you notice there, the first component, the DA2 receiver, is only $375. So something that you may have been used to before, getting a vast majority of the crowd here today answered that you need 4-inch accuracy. Well, if you kind of reflect back on what you had to invest to get 4 inches of accuracy from a GNSS receiver, we're talking thousands of dollars, in some cases tens of thousands of dollars in hardware investment alone. With Catalyst, we've pared that back, and we're now in the neighborhood of about $375, and then a subscription that really ties everything together. And we'll talk a little bit about each of those components going forward. So the idea is that Trimble Catalyst is a whole bunch of things, but at the top of the list, it's inexpensive. It means that you've got that minimal upfront hardware cost, and everything that you need to use Catalyst is bundled into it. It's meant to be extremely simple. As Jeff pointed out, we've got some exciting things coming in field maps that extends the reach of your GIS applications to users and workflows that maybe were never possible before. And in order to tie high accuracy to those new workers, those new workflows, we can't be tied down with complex configurations and all that stuff. So Catalyst is really meant to be simple. Zero configuration access is really what it's all about. You turn it on and it just works. It's also meant to be flexible. The idea that it's ready to use anywhere in the world. Literally, you can turn this thing on anywhere in the world and it will perform exactly the same. So there's no need for managing subscriptions or looking for VRS networks in different places. It all just works. Because it's so inexpensive, it means that you can scale it as well. So from a team of just 1 or 2 folks to large enterprise deployments, Catalyst can be flexible, and it can also modify as your needs change. So if you need 10 people in the field for the winter months and then 100 people in the field for the summer months during field collection, Catalyst can scale with you. But we do that without sacrificing anything in terms of performance and capability of the GNSS receiver. You're still getting the top of the line, high quality performance from the GPS receiver, and it delivers full survey grade precision. And I mentioned it just a bit here ago, but typically when we're talking high accuracy GNSS, we ask about how we achieve that. What kind of corrections are necessary? How do we get them? Is there an extra subscription for that? in the case of Trimble Catalyst, it literally just works. That the subscription for Catalyst includes everything you need in order to get high quality positions in the field. The correction and subscription are bundled together, and you don't have to worry about it. And if we do that by way of a kind of a revolutionary new technology on the back end of all of this stuff that we call the Trimble Correction Hub. The Trimble Correction Hub will make a determination for you about based on where you are, where you're located, what is the best position available, or what's the best correction source available for you. One question that often comes up here now is, do I need an internet connection to make this work? The answer is no. You don't need an internet connection to make this work. One of the correction services that's bundled with Catalyst is a satellite-based correction called RTX. Trimble Correction Hub will make the determination about which correction to use. And if it can't connect to the internet, it will default to RTX over satellite. So no matter if you're connected or not, you can get high quality, high accuracy corrections in the field anywhere you work. The whole thing is really centered around the capabilities of this GNSS receiver, and just a couple of key features about it. And for any of you who had heard of Catalyst before and maybe shied away from it, it was originally limited to just Android. But this most recent release of Catalyst technology, including this updated DA2 antenna and receiver, is that we now support iOS as well. So iOS and Android. There's no cables to the devices, so it's a Bluetooth connection to your data collector. It's extremely lightweight. It's probably one of the most rugged receivers we've ever built, also because there's so few parts in it. But again, we've bundled the best of class in terms of positioning technology in our ProPoint technology. I'll talk just a bit about that here in a second. And then everything that you need to get a high quality position in the field is bundled with it as part of the Catalyst positioning engine. And ProPoint technology, for any of you who are familiar with some of the higher accuracy survey grade receivers, like our top of the line receiver, the R12i, also incorporates the same exact ProPoint technology. So this really means that the receiver works awesome in just about every environment. Under tree canopy, in urban canyons, urban structures. I can't stress to you enough that you can't be impressed by ProPoint technology until you actually use it. It really is incredible how well this works. And you can take all of this out with you into the field in a variety of different configurations. You can mount the DA2 on a pole. You can put it on a backpack. And we've also recently released a sled. It's basically what it is. It's a grip that you can mount any device. We show a TDC 600 in the picture there, but if you wanted to take your iPad out with you, you can mount the device to the sled and have the Catalyst antenna right there on top of it and carry it all in one component. So it's kind of an exciting new addition to the versatility of the Catalyst solution. And again, like I said, you can use Catalyst with any device now, your iOS devices, your Android devices, or something like off the shelf that we have, the Trimble TDC 600, which has some greater capabilities than some of the consumer level devices. Things like it's much more rugged. It's got a Gorilla Glass screen. You can read it outside. You got a user replaceable battery. So there's lots of things that we wanted to add to a device that we offer that maybe, that you wouldn't get from one of those like a consumer level device. Again, just to recap here before I kick it back to Erin, and actually, Erin, I'll let you take over if you don't mind playing the video we've got coming up. The really exciting addition to the Trimble technology family with Trimble Catalyst, and I think Erin is going to go through some of the subscription options and how we can deliver Catalyst to you in a variety of different ways that fit how you work and where you work. So with that, Erin, over to you.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I was going to show, this is a video that Dan made that I think you guys will enjoy. It kind of shows Catalyst working with field maps.
Hey, Dan Colbert from Trimble. I'm here today with the Trimble DA2 receiver. It's a revolutionary new component of the Trimble Catalyst system. The DA2 is now fully compatible with Android and iOS devices, wireless, and you can even replace the battery yourself. So you can bring as many batteries as you need to support your field activities to keep you working all day. Another great component of the Trimble Catalyst system is that it comes bundled with the correction services that you need to get the accuracy that you're looking for. So in this case, I am out literally in the middle of nowhere with absolutely no cell connection, and I'm looking now at Esri field maps, which indicates that I'm getting about a centimeter worth of accuracy, and you can see I'm on airplane mode. I'm completely disconnected from anything, and I'm receiving RTX corrections from Trimble that enable me to get down to that centimeter level of accuracy. And inside of field maps, it's just as simple as capturing a new position, a new feature, updating it, and storing that point. Again, I'm not connected, so I'll be completely offline here. But I'm storing positions with that accuracy that you're expecting from Trimble receivers, with the ease of configuration that any field user can be proud of and happy with and comfortable with when they take it out into the field to get what you demand of them, what you demand of your data when it comes back into the office. So reach out to your local distributor for information about the new Catalyst DA2 receiver and components. So thanks for listening.
Let's switch back to my screen here. See if I can do this seamlessly as possible. Okay, great. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Jeff, so much. I hope everyone could hear that video. We practiced. I think it went well. So I'm just going to get into a little bit about the third part of the equation that Dan mentioned here. As he said, this is a different way of looking at things. So instead of investing in a piece of hardware, you're investing in technology. So this subscription is going to guarantee that you get the latest technology available from Trimble. And as the technology changes and grows, you're not going to be, working with a piece of equipment that's out of date. So this basically is a kind of a future-proof way to make sure that you're staying on top of the best possible technology available from Trimble. So the different types of subscriptions are available. NEI recommends the discounted annual subscription. With that subscription, you basically will get 2 free months annually. And that would be your data collection GPS unit, and it comes with all the technology that Dan spoke of. The other options are you have an on-demand option. This comes in an hourly subscriptions, and they are at the centimeter level accuracy. So with the hourly subscriptions, you do get the best available technology. They are billed at $10 per hour, and they're billed by blocks of user activated time. They're not billed as the actual time in the field. The user activates an hour at a time, and it's $10, and they can be purchased in increments of 10 or 100 hours. So for instance, I have a few customers that utilize Catalyst specifically just for UAS ground control. So it's a good option for them because they're not constantly out in the field. They just need it for projects here and there. Another way that you can purchase is monthly. So what I've recommended to a lot of my customers that are looking to upgrade equipment is, the annual subscription is the way to go, but there's no reason why you can't keep an extra receiver on hand. And if you have a special project or something that you need to work with, you can activate it for a month or 2 months, or if you need to, you have a large project where you have to put a lot of field workers to use immediately, you can purchase multiple receivers, activate them for a few months, and get your project done without having to, invest $10,000 or $20,000 in equipment. The annual subscriptions, so I've got them all listed here. It's not listed by like sub-meter or sub-foot or anything. It's what you see is what you get, right? So 60 centimeters of accuracy, 30 centimeters of accuracy, 10 centimeters, and down to 1 centimeter of accuracy. This is how this will work. If you want to figure out the monthly, you basically take away a 0. That's basically how it is, because you get two free months with a subscription, with an annual subscription. So as I mentioned, one other thing is you will need your cell phones at the end in order to scan our QR code, in order to be eligible for the giveaway at the end. So hang on here. But right now, until the end of May, our NEI is giving away a free Trimble DA2 receiver with every Catalyst One annual subscription. So you let us know. We'd be happy to set you up with a new Catalyst antenna, a receiver, and get you going in the field. We've got a lot of them on the shelf right now, and we've been having a great, we've had a lot of success. I've recently, I've worked with several customers just recently implementing this, and I've had a lot of really good feedback. This seems to fit really well with people's capabilities for purchasing. It's an easy way to transition out of an older workflow, out of some older equipment. They may be gathering dust. This is a good way to make that transition now, and without having to spend another $10,000, right? So the idea here, just in general, is that you're investing in the technology now. So it's not. You're not investing in a piece of hardware. You're investing in the latest and greatest technology, and being able to keep up with that. And it's flexible, and you can change and work with it however you like to. So just to kind of summarize what we've talked about the Catalyst receiver, like Dan mentioned, iOS and Android, we definitely recommend the TDC 600 as the data collector of choice here. One side note I'll make about the 600 is probably the biggest thing for the folks here in the South, and especially here in Florida, is you go outside and work with your iPhone, and it's sitting there in direct sunlight. It is going to die. I guarantee it. Every time I go fishing, I leave my screen face up, and it dies, and it will not overheat. So if you want something that's going to be fully ruggedized and ready for a full day of work, 1 day of downtime will pay for a decent data collector, in my opinion. The DA2 is also it's packed with the latest technology. So you're going to get everything that Trimble has to offer technology-wise. And you also, if you have a project, for my customers here in Florida, sometimes they have projects in other states, and they say, how am I going to get service? How am I going to do this? With the DA2, you do not, in the Catalyst system, you do not have to worry about it. You can take it anywhere in the United States, and you'll be able to, or outside of the United States for that matter, and be able to get that high level of accuracy without having to pay for extra subscriptions or worry about, connecting to other people's networks. The new ProPoint technology, like Dan mentioned, is what is the basis of the new Trimble GPS chipset, and is the latest and greatest in technology. It's fully Bluetooth connected, so the only wire that you have associated with this is with the battery, and that battery it's an off-the-shelf battery. You can buy one on Amazon for $20, so that you don't have to contact us if you need a new battery. You can keep multiple on the shelf. You can have as many as you want. And with the new, the addition of the annual subscription has become a big benefit for my customers. It's been difficult for them to Catalyst, trying to keep it as their main collection device. It's just been an issue working with monthly subscriptions. You also get a discount with it. So it's a big bonus for us. And, you can look at it as this is your investment in your data collection. So I know a lot of you are NEI customers, and we have folks that are outside of our range here as well. If you want to contact us, we'll be happy to assist all of you, or to give you the information to contact the right person in your area as well. This is our website. If you want to get in and take a look, and or if you want to go look at the Catalyst as well, this is where this is our the point of contact here. And then I think we have a few questions, Eric. So I'm gonna send it back over to you here to go over to the question section and kind of go through some of our help and support websites as well.
Sure thing. Thanks, Erin. So we thought it good to kind of tie all this together with this question section here to have some links. Now, I know you guys and ladies can't click on the links in the webinar. If you go to the handout section on the webinar tab, you can actually download this along with a document on the ProPoint technology. There's a document in there for Esri field maps, maybe migrating from collector. But I thought it good to kind of start here with the different partners here. A good spot to start if you're a new user or want resources, just go to the main web pages. So I got those links on there. The blog. So a lot of stuff that Jeff mentioned in his slides, he explains, and the team explains a lot more in the blogs of what those actually entail. I read one recently, maybe a week or so ago, about using Google Assistant to start up field maps and start trackers. So that was a pretty interesting one. Trimble has a new blog about expanding the life of the lithium-ion batteries. And with a lot of the shortages we're seeing right now, this blog is pretty helpful to extend the battery life. Community forums, always great to use. I put in some links here for videos. So a lot of the stuff Jeff was talking about, enhancing the web maps and the smart forms, there's a video there that the Esri team did that kind of goes over that. So I linked that in there. The last thing to talk about here is the Trimble product configuration guide, and the users can go through and select, okay, I want to run field maps on Android. What available GPS devices does Trimble have to work with that? So it's a good spot to go check out. And then finally, we have our YouTube channel, NEI GPS YouTube, where I kind of have some videos on there showing how to do firmware updates, setting up this workflow that Jeff and Dan mentioned today. I kind of go into a little more details on that. So some good resources to check out. So we have a handful of questions. I will get to the ones that I can't get to on the webinar since we're coming up on the hour here. We'll definitely go out and answer and send you some information back. I know, Jeff, there's one in here in regards to the linear referencing. So I'll get with Jeff to answer that one for you. So one question is, actually Dan answered it. Do you need internet to work with the DA2? And Dan answered that and basically said, no, you don't need that. It can work RTX via satellite. Some of our customers out there have their own base stations, and someone asked, even though we do have the Catalyst corrections hub, can I still use my own base? And the answer to that is yes. You still have to pay for the Catalyst service, but you can then go in and configure what we call the custom local base, and you can configure that up and use that if needed. Another question we had out there is, do you need an antenna cable to plug in or a cable to plug in to the DA2 to update the firmware, like we had to do on some of the older devices like R2s and maybe the old Geos and things like that? The nice thing about the Catalyst DA2, the firmware updates are all done over the internet. you just run the Trimble Mobile Manager app. You can go in there. Actually, for me yesterday, I got my new antenna in the other day. There was an update out. I went ahead and made a video on how to update that. That's on the channel. There were some questions on what is ProPoint. So I have a guide that you can download under the handouts there that kind of goes into the ProPoint technology really well. Dan, do you want to maybe hop in and explain a little bit more about, I know you kind of talked about it in the presentation. Do you want to kind of jump in there and talk a little bit more about ProPoint? I may have him on mute.
One thing I was going to mention while we're waiting for Dan.
Oh, there we are.
That we do have all these workflows and connections documented. That's one thing I forgot to mention, that we do have all this stuff documented. So if anybody has any issues with connections and things, we can definitely assist with that. So Dan, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here now. So yeah, ProPoint is kind of it's basically the way we process GNSS signals and generate a position, and it represents years and years and years of receiver and signal processing technology as an evolution at Trimble, and it's the engine that powers all of our high-end GNSS receivers. And what it boils down to is that it gives you incredible performance, the ability to generate a very high quality, high accuracy position in more environments than ever was possible before. So that includes things like tree cover, if you're working in canopy, on forestry applications, or urban canyons if you're working in downtown environments, or with buildings as a shadow across one part of the sky. ProPoint technology means that it can use what's left in the sky in a much more effective way than we ever could before. So it's just a really, 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 really incredible engine. And like I said in my part of the presentation there, that you kind of have to see it to believe it. So Catalyst is one of those technologies that's cost effective enough. That means for about $700, you can get out the door with a centimeter level subscription for a month and the necessary hardware to go try it for yourself. It really is that easy and that good.
I can definitely
Awesome.
attest to that, Dan. I've done some testing with the city of Jacksonville, and even in areas where we had really large buildings, you could walk up close next to a building and still maintain that high level of accuracy. And in canopy, it has been a lot of my customers that do wetlands delineations and things like that. Be a big issue for them, and they've noticed a large increase in capabilities when they're out there in the field in those tough conditions. So
Cool. All right, guys. Well, we're coming up on the hour. So Erin, if you want to flip it over one more and end it off, appreciate everything. Appreciate everybody attending.
yeah, thank you,
Definitely
everyone.
Dan and Jeff. Yeah.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Jeff. And thank you, everyone, for taking time out on St. Patrick's Day to spend some time with us here. So, yeah, so if you got your cell phones out, go ahead and scan this QR code. And there's a couple little questions there. And then when we do the follow-up email, we'll announce the winner. And then also anyone that's interested in getting to see this in person, we'll be attending a lot of conferences here in the near future, and we can also schedule a demonstration at your office as well. So just feel free to get in touch with us, and we really appreciate everybody taking the time out today. And thank you again, Jeff and Dan, especially for doing this with us with NEI. So I think that's all we have for the day. And as hopefully everybody's got a chance to scan this at this point or do a screenshot. I don't know. But thanks again, and hope you all have a great day. Please feel free to contact us if there's anything we can help you with. Thank you.